So how do I make over 6 figures a year without really working that hard? First, let's define hard work. Hard work means a great deal of effort or endurance. I, in fact, try to minimize the amount of effort and endurance I will need to accomplish my tasks. And here's how I do it. First, I time block. Parkinson's law states that the work expands to fill the time allotted for its completion. So if you give yourself a day to complete a project, you'll get it done in a day. If you give yourself 3 hours to complete it, you'll get it done in 3 hours. 37 Signals, company that owns Basecamp, they did an experiment where they gave their employees 4-day work week, and they actually showed them to be more productive than a 5-day work week because they had more time to rest and rejuvenate. This is why 4-day work weeks are gaining in popularity all across the world. Now you need to get as much done as possible within that time block by focusing on deep work. Deep work is working in a state of deep concentration and focus for a long period of time without distraction or interruption. When you switch from one task to another, it's called context switching. And context switching is death.
Fear is not the mind killer. Context switching is the mind killer, which I totally agree with. Context switching is a real bear. Just try to do less context switching. So maybe focus on one thing for an hour and then another thing for another hour.
So when I set up my work, I will time block for 2 to 4 hours, get rid of my distractions, and get what I need to done. It allows me to be much more productive than if I was on my computer and checking something different every 15 minutes. To take this to the next level, chunk your entire day. So just set up one type of work for the entire day. For instance, Thursday, I have meetings all day. Wednesday, I'll focus on marketing. Put it all together and do the Roosevelt Dash. This is something Teddy Roosevelt used to do to be as productive as he possibly could. He would only do it up to 1 day per week, and he would time block a task, but the time he would give him would be significantly less where he didn't really believe he could do it. And it forced him to be extremely focused to get that task done way quicker than he thought he could. Next thing, energy management. Do things that give you energy and outsource or eliminate everything else. A great book that I've read called Start With When talks about your chronotype. We all have different chronotypes. Basically, it's a makeup of how our body has different energy levels throughout the day. There are peak times of the day for you that are best for getting the most important work done. For me, it's actually between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. Just for whatever reason, I tend to be the most productive during those times, and I build my schedule accordingly.
Michael Bruce is back with us. He's America's sleep doctor. He's an expert on all things chronotype. So let's start off with people like me, like the Lions. Walk us through an ideal Lion day.
We want them to be focusing on deep work, somewhere between 8 and 12. Between 12 and 4, we want them to focus on lighter tasks, things that don't require so much intellectual horsepower.
Finally, self-care. This is the most important one. Exercise, eat foods that make you feel healthy, sleep, and relax. Everybody talks about these two, but sleep is just as important.
We lose 11 days a year in productivity because of the epidemic of sleep deprivation.
What's the fallacy in everyone thinking that, like, I just need 5 hours, I'm good?
There is a tiny percentage of the population who are known among sleep scientists as short sleepers, and they legitimately do not need more than 4 or 5 hours. They actually have a genetic mutation. The rest of us need 7 to 9 hours.
And finally, you need to rest. Relax, I don't mean watching TV.
But rather the best, most restorative kinds of rest that we should default to are ones that are active, that are engaged, that are physically or mentally challenging. There was this wonderful study starting in the 1950s of scientists in Southern California. They looked at their careers over 30 years, and over time, this group bifurcated into the super high achievers, 4 Nobel laureates, a bunch of other really notable people, and then people whose careers kind of stalled out. There were no psychological differences between them in terms of ambition level or other things. The only big difference was how much they exercised.
You can work in a science lab all day and then go train for the Olympics. You're still resting your mind and shifting your focus onto something else. The powerful combination of self-care, time blocking, and deep work allow me to accomplish everything I need to in under 40 hours a week. Look, if you want to work 12 hours a day, that's great too, but do it around what you want to do, not what you feel like you have to do. Waking up at 5 a.m. because someone told you to do it is a recipe to be miserable. You don't need motivational speeches to get done. Working hard is not a cause for success. It's an effect of doing what you love. Working hard comes after you design your life and start doing what you love, not before. And then you're working hard, and it doesn't matter what the outcome is. You're not working hard to achieve something, you're just working for the sake of doing it because it's what you love doing. You see the difference? Will there be some short bursts of difficult, painful things? Yeah, of course. But I'm never going to work hard month after month just for the sake of success. Give yourself a break and take care of yourself. Figure out what you love to do, outsource the rest. You'll find that you will succeed way more than you ever thought you could, and you'll forget the last time that you ever worked hard.